and Brad here with Years of Years, and it's This Day in Disney for March 29th.
March 29th. Almost done.
Yep, almost on to
Get
April.
your April Fool's jokes ready. Crank it up.
Do you have April Fool's jokes? Maybe? We'll see. Alright, well, for This Day in Disney, we're going back to 1951, and on this day, Disney's True Life Adventure short in Beaver Valley wins an Oscar. That's
Wow.
right.
You know, I mean, it was, new. It was a new format to be producing nature films in this way, at least at this caliber. They had been somewhat tested and risen to this level.
It was the second of the True Life Adventure. So the Seal Island was the first one, which is really popular. I believe both of those are on Disney Plus, so you can watch in Beaver Valley. But it did win an Oscar for this short subject to real at the 1950 Academy Awards, presented by RKO Pantages Theater in Hollywood. So
there you go.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, these nature films are wonderful. Of course. And I mean, they established a genre that, hadn't been in place. This observing nature, bringing it into the home through television. When I was a kid, I have to admit, I was a little bit too much youth culture, a little bit too much impatient, a little bit too much wanting to be entertained, and I didn't always get into or appreciate these nature shows. It was really later in life that I did, and Planet Earth and the BBC really blew my mind. And I definitely have grown up and matured and appreciate these a lot more. And I'm thankful that this genre was created, that we can appreciate this earth, especially in the springtime.
Yeah, I'm glad you enjoy them now.
Yeah.
So at the time in the 1950s, they were very successful and very popular and entertaining. And I have watched these, I didn't watch them as a kid or have exposure to them like you did, but I've watched them as an adult and really enjoyed them. I think what they were doing was, somewhat groundbreaking at the time and influenced all the nature. Because now, I mean, Disney's just paired with National Geographic, and you can watch so much on Disney
they even
Plus.
own it.
Right. So it's fully integrated there. But, going back to, so you had James Algar, who was the director, and then Winston Hibler was the narrator for it. And James Algar did spend a lot of time learning a lot with Seal Island. And one of the things that they learned was, that it wasn't just focusing on the beavers and what they were doing, but the side shots, and that's something Walt talked about, was getting getting all the other animals and the interesting things,
the ecosystem,
or the fiery sunsets, or the glistening moon, all these different parts of nature that happen. And this takes place over all 4 seasons. So you get to experience the full life cycle of the beavers, but also everything going on around them. And within 30 minutes, I think they did pretty well.
Especially considering beavers. Yeah. There are a few animals that I really admire as much. These structures that they build, the weight that they carry. They're like ants of the animal world. They're able to move like trees that I couldn't even budge.
Yeah.
I mean, they build these massive structures that are not only massive, but watertight and dry inside. I mean, sometimes I've seen successors to these kind of films. They did a beaver one for IMAX that was in circulation probably about 10 to 12 years ago, and you got to see the beaver go down and up and in. They have quite a comfortable lifestyle.
Right. Well, actually, Walt really liked beavers as well. And the reason why he liked them is because they're so much like us. And they keep working and building and taking care of their families and things like that. So he saw, humans and beavers. And,
no doubt.
He also talked about how the more that you see human qualities in animals, the more funny they become and interesting they become. And so, you know, that takes time, and that kind of goes back to like their formula. So they actually had Alfred and Elma Milat scouted. They were the ones who did the filming, and they scouted for beaver locations in California, Idaho, Wyoming, and Montana. And I think they ended up mostly using the Rocky Mountains. They found a stream that they knew had beavers, and so but it took time. It took, you know, them for months. They literally got this footage. It took a year to really get everything in this specific area. So, you know, you look at it, you see a 30-minute film with nature in general, you see this 30 minutes, but really it takes time.
Yeah. I mean, we enjoy nowadays the time-lapse cameras that they're able to set up, the slow motion on delicate natural things. I mean, all this stuff laid the groundwork for it to make the phenomenal nature films that we enjoy today possible.
Right. So Sally Carrigar, who was in 1947 did the book One Day at a Teton Marsh. She talked about this and how it can take a year, and how if you sit long enough, the animals will come to you. And so it does. It just takes time, and you have to be quiet, and you have to blend into the landscape to really get how they're going to react in their normal life without you being part of, you know, the issue. Because if you just walk up on a nature trail and see animals, you know, they're going to respond to how you are. Probably fear is the base thing, but if you get down and wait and are quiet, just like fishermen are and things like that, lots of people who work in nature know it takes a lot of time. And so I just really appreciate that from the True Life films. And obviously I'm not the only one, because this won an Oscar.
Nominated. Yeah.
So really cool. So really great. Honestly, go check out in Beaver Valley if you haven't watched it before. And there's some other True Life adventures. We talked about it on This Day before. And
also we've had quite a productive weekend since we last met. So we were live on Pete McDevitt with Off the Wall, a wonderful special night and time with him. Yeah, you can go watch that if you want to learn more about us and some of the questions we answered. It was super fun. Some personal stuff. Yeah. For sure, go check it out. And we were also at Animal Kingdom, but you know, we weren't there long enough to be still and be quiet. So we should do that. On the trails and stuff. Take a little more time to slow down and enjoy all the wonderful animals over there. So dock ourselves at dock. Or deck.
There you go. All right, well, that's it for this day in Disney, and we will see you guys next time.